Okay, let everybody's screen catch up. So I'm going to go ahead and get logged in, and I am using a training login, so it is oftentimes a little different than what you will see. But again, the basic functionality and the view of what we're going to look at today is going to be basically the same no matter what your login is. Okay, so here is the landing page. It is basically the new home page that you have when you log into Virtuoso.com. There is some really wonderful things here that I think you're really going to enjoy, and I think it is going to be a useful tool that will help you actually be more functional and to get more done during the day. So just a quick overview. When you land here, you do have a variety of things that you're going to be viewing. There are what we call modules, and these modules by default, you will see all modules available. We'll talk about how to edit these, how to move them around as we go through, okay? So what we have here is some quick links, and any one of these that has a little pencil next to it gives you some additional functionality to be able to edit those. And we're going to walk through and look at those capabilities in a moment. So we have quick links. We have news from the network. There is Virtuoso Focus. There are travel advisories. There's a new preferred partners module. There's Virtuoso events, and these are things that are currently available. Now, I have made some modifications so that you'll be able to see those in a minute, but it is a wonderful way to be able to actually get the control of what you want to see. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on My Dashboard Settings. What this now shows me is edit my layout, add a module, view the dashboard tutorial. Really nice, because if you need to come back in and actually get some documentation, there is a tutorial here, and the ability to have this set as my home page. Now, it is set as a home page by default, and you can choose not to have this, but I think once we're done today, you're going to find out that it really is very beneficial to have this set as your dashboard. And I'll show you how to get back to the Virtuoso.com homepage in a moment, okay? So we'll go. Now I'm getting a couple notices, well, maybe one that says there is some sound issues. Sybil, I'm sorry, you may need to hang up and redial in. If anyone else is having sound issues, please let me know, but it looks as though it may only be an individual. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and as we look at this, I'm going to go ahead and click Edit Layout. Okay, so let's see. Betsy, no sound here, listening on my, oh, no sound issues. Okay, Betsy, thanks for reconfirming that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit Layout. Now, what the Edit Layout is going to give me the ability to do is remove individual modules or rearrange them. Now, I had already removed some this morning so that I could show you how to add or do some additional things. But basically, you'll see here that I have the ability to move this dashboard around. So I can determine what position these individual modules are in. So right now, I have my quick links at the top left. In the middle, I have news from the network, and then I have Virtuoso Focus over to the right. So if I wanted to change this, for example, maybe I really want to have my new preferred suppliers up to the top right. So as I basically hold down on that four-way arrow, I am now dragging, and I have the capability to move this around. So I'm going to drop that, drag it back up, and again, I'm going to reposition this so that it will basically now show up at the top here above focus. So simply, I can determine how my view is. Basically, if I want these things to be really at the top or at the bottom, I have complete control. Now, in this view, if I also decided that there were modules that I did not want to have displayed, I would have the ability to remove them. Now, there are certain ones that I cannot remove, and they are basically the term is based, well, there's a term I'm looking for, but it basically does not allow you to do it. One is Virtuoso Focus, so you'll notice there is no X at the top right-hand corner. and then Virtuoso Events. So those are the two modules that we do not allow you to remove. You can move them around and reposition them, but everything else you can determine whether you want it to show up there or not. Once you have made those changes, now let's just say again, I want to get rid of travel advisories. Okay, again, by hovering over that X, you'll notice it turns into a red X. I can click on that and it would remove that specific module. And again, if I wanted to, I could move any one of these to reposition so that I had a different view, just to make what I'm looking at when I log in easier to look at. So once I'm done, I click on Save. And you'll notice now my changes have been made and I have some availability, again, to look at it differently. I'm just going to go back to my dashboard here. So now, if I wanted to add a module, okay, I had changed them, maybe I removed them, I want to go back in and add that. So now I can click on Add Module. So those that I had removed, and again, you're going to find when you've logged in, you actually have all of them. By default, we've put them all in there, but you have the capability to come in and change them. But once you've removed it, maybe you decide, you know what, I really would like to see some of these again. So I'm going to go back in and add new member agencies, and I'll add travel advisories. So again, these modules are available based upon my login, and I'm currently logged in as an advisor in a training mode. So as a supplier, you will see different modules, and again, when you log in, you'll be able to see what is available to you under your login. So by doing that, you'll notice now I've added travel advisories back, and I've also added new member agencies. All right, so that is under my dashboard settings, the kinds of things that I would be able to do. Edit my layout, I can delete modules. Once they're done, I can add them back in, and it is also where I determine whether or not I want my dashboard set as my home page. Okay, now let's take a moment and look at how you can edit any of these individual modules. The only modules that you can edit are the ones that do have the little pencil. The pencil allows you to select that and then make some changes to the individual. Now, not all modules are editable. As you can see right now, really only quick links as well as news from the network are ones that have pencils. Now, we will be adding more modules, and one of the ways to ensure maybe some modules that you might want to see is by making recommendations. And the way to make recommendations on things that you would like to see added is to use this feedback and support link over to the right, and it's where you can go in and say, hey, you know, it'd be great to have this module that would make my job more efficient and easier to work with. But let's look at quick links for a moment, and I'm going to select the pencil to show you what can be done. So under quick links, these are things, again, as I come to my home page, my dashboard in virtuoso.com, I can determine the things that I want to view that will make it more efficient for me on a daily basis. You'll notice that we do have some by default: the supplier directory, the air booking, Virtuoso Creative Services. Anything that is checked, I have as a default. You'll notice there are an awful lot of additional things that I can set that are quick links so that I don't have to come in and search for them or go to virtuoso.com. So these are some ways that, and again, these are the default. So I can add as many of these as I choose, or I could come back in and actually remove these quick links. Now, by removing, that doesn't mean that I won't have access to them. It just means, of course, that they won't show up on the drop down here for quick links. All right. Now, if I'm going to get back and add a couple of these. But if I wanted to, again, any of these could be added and it will continue to expand that box. One nice feature here is that I do have the ability to add my own links. So you're not restricted to what is part of the list here. You may find things that are external links or links within virtuoso.com that you use all the time. So I can add them simply by adding my own link. So I'm going to click on this, and you'll notice it gives me what is the link name. Now, what I'm actually going to add here is I'm going to add a link to and I just lost my train of thought. What am I doing? Oh, I'm going to add it to the new Virtuoso Voyages directory. Okay, I think that's a really nice one for advisors, but it could be any link. And even though I'm adding it internally for virtuoso.com, I again could be adding any URL or address for outside, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to put Virtuoso Voyages. And then I'm going to get my URL added in here. And then I'm just going to click Save. So now what I have is Virtuoso Voyages that I've added to my quick links. Now, another nice thing here is if I want to have these rearranged, what I have the capability to do is simply use this arrow, and I could rearrange the order that any of these are in. So it really does make it possible that I can customize whatever this list is so that whatever I want at the top, whatever's most efficient for me, I have the ability to move these around. So it's really nice to give us that ability to use this to move stuff around. So if I want Virtuoso Voyages up at the top, I simply just drag it, drop it, and I'll come back down here and save. Really nice, because what this dashboard is going to give you control of are the things that you work with most often, so that you don't have to constantly go in and try and search or find that. And depending upon your role, who you are, these links can be customized to you. You can have as many or as few as you want. Now, the other one that we can edit is News from the Network. By clicking on News from the Network, again, it's going to show me what types of feeds do I want to see in my news feed. You'll notice again that by default everything is here. So if I didn't want to see any news, if I don't have an air contract or I'm an agency that doesn't see air, I don't need to look at that. Everything else, if I didn't want to see connections, whatever I deselect and then I save, so now only those are going to be part of my News from the Network. Again, it's a little pencil. You can determine what shows up. And again, depending upon your role, you may see things that are different based upon whether you're a supplier or an advisor. Again, once any of those changes are made, you simply click on Save. It is that simple. The dashboard is something that I really believe that as we continue to grow this out and we add different modules, but even the modules that are added today, I'm already using it. And as a staff member, I have customized my quick links to things that I use frequently. Our SharePoint site. I have a link to my pilot site for the Virtuoso Travel Academy. And it has made some of the things that I do so much faster because I don't have to use my toolbar or my favorites menu up at the top. I can now put everything here. I've actually put on our HR site because, again, even though it's an external site, I can customize this and use it to my benefit. Okay, some really good things here. Now, if by chance I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of my dashboard as my home page, I really don't, I would never do that, but I'm just going to say if you do, and now when we log in, what it is going to do is basically take us back to our virtuoso.com homepage. But if I want to get back over under my drop-down, I can use my staff drop-down, and there's my dashboard. So it is still there available. And then, of course, I'm going to come back over. I'm going to reset this as my home page so that when I log in, it will drop me here because of the functionality. I really think it's a great way to do that. Once you're at your dashboard, though, again, because it drops you in here, anytime you want to get back to the virtuoso.com homepage, or of course, you can use the drop downs of destinations, plan of trips, but it is just simply using the quick link Virtuoso logo at the top, which will take me back to my homepage. And anytime I'm there, if I'm, no matter where I'm at, whether I'm on a supplier page or a cruise search page, to get back to my dashboard, it simply is using my drop-down under my name and clicking on my dashboard. So it's always going to be there, but that's how you can return to the dashboard rather than having to log out and try and get back in. Okay, so let's see what kinds of questions we have. And Chelsea, at this stage, if you have anything that you want to add or correct, feel free to do that. But let me see what kind of questions we have here. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So Len, I hope you got it. Says, is there a reason why my add module would be grayed out? Yes, because as the default, all of the modules are added by default. So let's just go back in, and I'm going to add all of these back so that we can see that. So basically at this stage, what you're looking at this view here, edit layout, and you'll notice add module is grayed out because by default all of them are added, and so the only way that that would turn blue is for you to remove something, and then it would give you the opportunity to re-add it again. Okay, let's see. Question was, am I dragging with the left mouse? Yes, I was using the left mouse button in order to drag and drop. So basically, anytime I hover over that four-way arrow, I am using my left mouse button and I'm dragging, and it gives me the capability to reposition that simply by dragging and dropping. And then, of course, if I want to ensure these get saved, I use the save link, and that saves it in whatever position I've added to. Okay. Let's see, continuing down with questions. Does everyone have the same default links? Yes, everyone does have the same default links depending on whether you're a supplier or an advisor, so it could be different. Again, the current login that I'm using is a training login for an advisor, so a supplier may have a different view, but again, the functionality that we're looking at here is going to work regardless of whether you're an advisor or a supplier. Let's see, it says, where did you find the URL for Virtuoso Voyages when you added that to Quick Links? Linda, I had actually looked that up and saved it before I started the session. But just as a note, again, no matter what I find, so if I wanted to use, let's say, let me go over to my webinars up here. So I'm looking at a different screen. Let your screen update, so give me just a second. All right, so if by chance I wanted to use my GoToWebinar link, okay, so no matter what I'm doing, I just find that URL, I copy it, and I can do that by right-clicking, or I can do that by Control-C, but any way that I find that, I can then come back over, use my quick links, actually let's cancel that out, get back over to my edit screen. So then I have the ability to add any URL, so I've just clicked on the edit link. I would then add my own. So then I would use this to say, go to webinar. That's what I just copied. And then under the URL, I would add that new link and click save. And there is GoToWebinar added, okay? And again, so what I did is I actually went to Advisor Tools, I found the information page, and that's where I found the directory for Virtuoso Voyages, and I added it there, okay? So let's continue to scroll down here and find the questions. Okay, continuing down. How would I know what the URL is for something I want to add like Virtuoso Voyage? Yeah, Adrian, I hope you just saw that it's basically wherever page you're on, it is going to be up on that address bar. That's where you'll find that specific address or URL. That's the technical term for a universal resource locator, so a couple different ways. Let's see. All right. Continuing down, does this change the way clients view my landing page? No, it does not, Betsy. Great question. What a client views does not change because they do not have a login as an advisor or as a supplier. They will always see, well, they will continue to see the same login that they've had, the page that they view that is yours, whether you have a branded page or not, that will not change for your clients or your prospective clients. Okay, let's see, continuing down. Okay, a lot of questions about the URL that I used, and that was the Virtuoso Voyages. So let me just take a moment. I'm going to walk that through so that you could see. All right, so basically under the Advisor Tools, I went to information pages, and under the information pages is, of course, a cruise sales page, but there is also a link for Virtuoso Voyages. Under Virtuoso Voyages, as I scroll down to the right, there is the sales tools, and under the sales tools is the 2016 Virtuoso Voyages cruise directory. Now, the reason this isn't published, and I'm just going to say, is that it is always changing. So it is something that you can use and share with clients, but just know that there is no printed version because it is changing literally daily. Okay, so now once that I found the Virtuoso Voyages directory, there is the address. That is what I use. So I copied that and I basically added that to my quick links back over here under my dashboard. Okay, so I'll get back over my dashboard, and that is ultimately what I used and added here under the Virtuoso Voyages link. Alrighty. Okay, let's see. How soon will we have the dashboard available when we sign in? It is available already. It actually became available on Friday. And so, Susan, when you log into virtuoso.com, you should see that automatically when you're logged in. So that has been active since the release on Friday. Okay, let's see. What else? Okay. All right, so that is all the questions. Let's see if we have any other. And again, Chelsea, I'm going to come back to you. Anything to add on this?
I think the only thing that I would additionally point out is for the Virtuoso Events module, it's actually got some pretty cool stuff there. We divided it up into a section for the Virtuoso Travel Week tours and a section for other upcoming events. Because we have so many Virtuoso Travel Week tours coming all the time, we didn't want the whole events feed to be full of Travel Week tours so that you could see the other events as well. And if you're able to register for the event, you will see that it's a hyperlink, and you can click it to navigate to the event site. It will also show you whether or not you're currently registered, or if you have an incomplete registration, just your status for that event. Which is really helpful just in case, you know, maybe you couldn't remember off the top of your head. If you registered for events, you can quickly look here without having to go directly to the event site and logging in.
All right, excellent. Thank you for pointing that out. And yeah, so you'll see I do have the links because I am able to register for that, and it says not registered. The one that I am not able to register for is the one for Virtuoso Networking Cocktails in Sao Paulo. And so sadly, I won't be going to that. But yeah, so hyperlink allows you to click on it and go in and register. And if not, and there is the link for if you wanted to view all events, and what it actually would do is take us to the event page. Okay, so thank you for pointing that out, Chelsea. Okay, any additional questions? Scroll back down here. Okay, so yes, we will have this available in the recorded session. What we're going to do is follow up with everyone that had registered for the first session that we ended up having to cancel because we had too many people registered. So we'll send this link out available as to everyone. So let's see. Okay, somebody says my question wasn't answered. Let me look back up here. Susan, that I know you're asking about open cruises to host, and unfortunately, I'm going to ask that you reach out to help@virtuoso.com. This is specifically about the dashboard and the training of the dashboard. So I would really ask that you reach out to hosting. If you're looking at hosting, reach out to help@virtuoso.com, and they'll be able to give you some resources on that and point you to the right direction. Okay, additional questions dealing with the dashboard, editing, making changes to quick links, how to get back to the dashboard.
Jay, I would also mention that the banner at the top that says welcome to your new virtuoso.com dashboard.
Yes.
If you click on that, it'll open the user guide for you.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's specific. It's specific to who you're logged in as. So if you're logged in as a member, it'll take you to the member user guide, or a supplier, you'll be taken to the supplier user guide. But there's also additional information in there, and it can be referenced as long as that banner is showing up.
Okay, and just a note, this actually opened up in the same page, so if you need to get back, you'll notice that I used the back button, so it actually opened up the document in the same page that I was navigating in, okay, so that's an important distinction to see there. All right, so Susan is saying when I just signed in, there is no dashboard under my name. Okay, Susan, you're going to need to reach out to help@virtuoso.com. Not sure why you're not seeing a dashboard there. Chelsea, any idea why someone logging in would not have the dashboard as their default page?
No, the only users that shouldn't see it when they log in are consumer logins. So all advisors, suppliers, and V staff should see the dashboard when they log in.
Okay, all right. Okay. Does the dashboard upload the photos that we have in our profile? Yes, those photos should be pulled directly from your Virtuoso.com dashboard, from your Virtuoso.com profile. And let's see, someone is saying, I saw my dashboard but did not see our pics. That is from a supplier. If you have a profile picture loaded, it should be pulled in, unless, you know, if you're using a generic login, which I know that sometimes suppliers often do, but it should be pulling from your personal Virtuoso.com profile. Okay, question on how to change the photo on the site. You know, I'm going to ask you to reach out to help@virtuoso.com. They have some instructions on how you can go into your profile and update your photograph. Okay. Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining us today for this Virtuoso.com dashboard. I'm just stoked. I really think, and I've said this, I think it's one of the best things that has come out with Virtuoso.com. Just very functional. Again, as a staff member, I'm using it every day, and I just love the ability to customize quick links and to find information that really is beneficial. So I think you're going to really enjoy that. And again, continue to look for new modules. We'll see those coming up as we continue to build out, and you'll hear more about those as we come closer to Virtuoso Travel Week. Again, we'll be sending out the recording. You'll be able to review this, but as we just pointed out for you, if you need additional instructions, by using the banner up here at the top right that says welcome to your new Virtuoso dashboard, that will take you to the document that gives you additional instructions, all the step-by-step things on what you can do with the dashboard, and it will be specific to you and your login. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chelsea, for being on as a subject matter expert, and everyone enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Jay.